What's up, everybody? Crazy Eights here. This is going to be the Transformers, the 86 movie collection update. I'm going to show you all the figures I got so far from the 86 movie subline from Studio Series. I got this guy recently, so this is what's pretty much triggered it because I need some of the figures I want to compare them with. So I figured I'd pull them all out, transform them all, show them off, and then we'll do this guy's review. But before we do that, I'm going to do this in a few steps. There's like 30 plus figures that so far for the Studio Series line. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do each figure one at a time by the release order. Now, they were kind enough to start numbering them when they first came out. So we're going to start with number 1, which is Jazz, and then we're going to go through them all the way up to current. I think after Galvatron, they stopped and it went to the new format where they stopped numbering and they stopped giving us backdrops for these figures. So I'm going to start babbling and I'm going to start to show off the figures. Okay, so sit back, relax, and enjoy. So starting off the list, as you already saw it, is Jazz. He was the first release for the Studio Series line, and here is his figure. At number 2, we have Cup. Now they released 2 versions. They had the regular version, which is this one right here, and then they came out with a buzzworthy one with the translucent chest. So as you can see, the difference is on the chest. They got the horrendous face still, but the chest and a slight color difference on the bot itself. But this was number 2 in the Studio Series 86, the movie line, and that is Cup. At number 3, we have Blur with his weird looking, I don't know, welder thing. At number 4, we have Hot Rod. I had applied the pizza cutter on his arm instead, and I put the guns to the back just so I wouldn't keep all the accessories together. At number 5, we have Scourge. At number 6, we have Grimlock with Autobot Wheelie, but Wheelie is not coming out. He's a bad figure. But I do have a non-F upgrade kit on him, which gave me a clear chest piece, a sword, and his crown, along with front teeth and some gap fillers. So non-F had some really good stuff for this guy. At number 7, we have Slug with Daniel Witwicky, and of course Daniel is in the bag along with Wheelie. Again, this one has an upgrade kit as well. It comes with a sword and replaced the horns with these red ones back here. So he is, I think, is non-F as well, upgrade kit for number 7, Slug. At number 8, we have Gnaw, this chubby little fella. At number 9, we have Wreck-Gar. And for this part 1 and the last one, number 10 is a Sweep. I only got 1. I should have gotten 2, but I have a hard time buying multiple copies of stuff, so I only bought the 1. So, but here's number 10. He is Decepticon Sweep. All right, and that's part 1 in the books. So this was for a Studio Series 86, the movie collection update. These are figures 1 through 10 that were released in the line when they first came out. Part 2 was going to be 11 through 20. So stay tuned for those. It'll be coming up shortly because I have them all transformed and ready to go. So stay safe, stay healthy, and enjoy your toys. Crazy Eights is out. What's up, everybody? Crazy Eights here with part 2 of Studio Series 86, the movie collection update. So this is going to be number 11 through 22. Now, as I'm going through this, there's some holes that I found out about, but I'll explain to them when I get to that number. Again, I'm using the numbers off of this guide here, where Studio Series used to number them, so I'm going to go with that for right now, and then when they make the changes to the new format, I'll just go from there. But anyway, here is part 2, so let's get into it. Starting off at number 11, we have Perceptor. At number 12, we have Coronation Starscream. And just in case if anyone asks, here is the throne that he comes with. Unfortunately, Monkey D. Luffy took it over. So this is his throne now. Right, Sanji? Right. At number 13, we have Cliff Jumper from Buzzworthy Bumblebee. So it's the same old that came out in this was it the Siege Earthrise line, but different colorations on the thighs, and I believe this is the windshields are different as well. This one went with grays and blacks and light blues. I think the other one was just all black, and I believe. But yeah, this is number 13. At number 14, we have our second Junkion, Junkheap. At number 15, we have our third Dinobot, which is Sludge. Now my Sludge has an upgrade kit on him that fixed his hips. I believe it has some hollow gap fillers. It came with a sword, and it also came with a gun. This is the gun that he came with, but they used it as a rocket launcher that the G1 toy had. So he came with a gun and a sword for this guy, for the upgrade kit. So Sludge at number 15. At number 16, we have RC. She's a little delicate, hard to stand up with that backpack. I wish someone would break out of this cycle with the backpacks with RC and come up with a new mold design. I know this is being traditional and trying to keep with the G1 toy, but let's change it up, please. The figure itself is really good. It's just that backpack could be annoying. But anyway, I digress. That is number 16, RC. At number 17, we have Ironhide. All right, this is supposed to be number 18. From the Studio Series checklist that I had, number 18 was supposed to be Hound. That was supposed to be his spot when they were going to release him, but never got released. So there is a hole in the collection. So if anyone has a number 18, let me know who you have. But according to the checklist, it was supposed to be Hound, and I don't have an 18. So on to the next one. At number 19, we have our fourth Dinobot, Snarl. Now, I didn't do nothing to him. No upgrade kits or anything. It's just as is. I do wish they could have done some of those hips. He looks like Mr. Incredible with the small legs and small hips going down. But this is Snarl at number 19. Alright, so this isn't actually vacant because I do have the figure, but he's going to be on the last part of the series with honorable mentions at number 20. So I'll come back to number 20 in honorable mentions. So moving on to 21. At 21, we have this guy, Ultra Magnus. Top 5 all-time favorite Studio Series figures in my collection as of right now. At 22, we have this peg warmer. Studio Series Brawn. I do like this figure, and I also got the retro version, so it's a really cool figure. But that's number 22. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it comes to my end of my video for part 2 of my 86 the movie collection update from the Studio Series line. It went over 10 items because of the 2 vacant slots and what's going on with them. So the next is going to be the next 10, whatever those may be. But part 3 will be the next 10 for the Studio Series line. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Until next time. What's up, everybody? Crazy 8 here with part 3 of my collection update for the 86 movie from the Studio Series line. So this is the last ones from the numbering. This is number 23 through 31. So let's get into it. And we start things off with number 23, Ratchet. At 24, we have our last Junkion so far, and this is Scrap Heap. At number 25, we have Autobot Plaster and Eject. At number 26, we have my last Dinobot, which is Swoop. I'm not sure whose number 28 is. I don't see any slot or any person that was made for this slot, but at 29, we didn't have 0. We had 0. I mean, 28 to 0. At 29, we have this peg warmer, where everyone knows and loves dearly, which is Bumblebee. And he's probably still peg warming. At number 30, we have Triple Changer Springer. Now, I used these weapons as opposed to the ones that came with him, with the other ones, because I like these upgrades better. Next two, I think someone lost their job over, because this is number 31 and this is Galvatron. Last but not least, this is also 31, but this is Optimus Prime. So I don't know what happened, but if you look here, that says 31 if you can make it out, and that says 31 too. So I don't know if someone lost their job over at Hasbro and messed up the count, and that's why they stopped, because this is the last one to be numbered after this line, and they changed formats. I don't think that's the reason, but he is the last one to be numbered. All right, so that was part 3 of this for my collection update for the Studio Series 86, the movie. The last part are the non-numbered ones and core class, and I do have an honorable mention I would like to show as well. So thanks for watching. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Stay safe, stay healthy, and enjoy your toys. Crazy 8 is out. Welcome back to my video. This is part 4 for the Studio Series 86, the movie collection update. So this is the ones that after the numbering, so Optimus Prime was the last one to be numbered. After that, they went to a new format where they stopped numbering and they stopped giving us the backdrops. And so this is what these are, along with the core class. Now, of course, these 4 here were numbered, but we'll get into that as we get into the figures. So with that being said, let's get into it. We're going to be starting off with the core class figures. So the first one we're looking at is Exosuit Spike Whitkey. Mine doesn't like to stay together. It falls apart. It's very cheap. I'm not a big fan of this. I kind of wish they would have done a better job on these. Next is Autobot Ratchet, which is pretty cool looking. Here is Wheelie. Next up is Rumble, the blue one, which they emphasize on the instructions. Here is Ironhide. Here is Frenzy, the red one. Here is Steeljaw. Here is More Than Meets the Eye Perceptor. And here is More Than Meets the Eye Ratbat. Finally, More Than Meets the Eye Ramhorn. I didn't want to go there or do this, but here is Brawn from the 2-pack, what I like to call a child trauma 2-pack of Brawn and Ratchet. So here is Brawn first, and here is Ratchet. Continuing my therapy sessions, here is Ironhide. We'll call these the battle damaged or offline versions of them. And here is Prowl. Now, Prowl and Ironhide were in the buzzworthy packaging, and according to these instructions, Prowl was number 20 for the release of the Studio Series 86, the movie. But instead of giving us a non-damaged Prowl, we got this one instead. So just a little heads up, this was actually number 20 in the Studio Series line. Last but not least, we have Devastator, which, gotta bring up the camera even more now. There we go. And there he is. So these are all of the Studio Series 86, the movie that I have right now that were released. This is a quick update as well for the video. So before we end it, I got one more, and this is what I'm considering my replacement for, a replacement bot for the line. So this is the current 86 Bumblebee we got, right? But I am going to be replacing him with the retro card Bumblebee as opposed to this one. I feel like he looks much better, and he has the right card mode for it. So this is going to be my replacement for Studio Series Bumblebee, retro card Bumblebee. And that's it. All right, so this was fun. This was a collection update for 86 the movie from the Studio Series line. So I had a really good time doing this. It was fun transforming them. It's not going to be fun transforming them back, but I'll be doing that as well. So up next is going to be the Megatron review for Studio Series. And I just got an Ape Link, so that's coming up as well. And Ape Link will have a Rise of the Beast collection update as well, with showing him off afterwards. So with that being said, I hope you all enjoyed this video. Stay safe, stay healthy, and enjoy your toys. Crazy 8s is out.